All right, so now we understand how the balls are rising and falling, or we should kind of know, right? If you have any questions, just come and talk to me, and I should be able to clear you up. But now what we want to do is add more irregularity so that each ball kind of has a life of its own, right? So we want to add some randomness to our program. So what we want to do is right here on the weight, we want the weight to be random, okay? And then once the balls are on the floor, we want the weight for each ball to also be random. All right. So luckily what we have is a command here in Lua called math.random. So what we can do is if I go ahead and print out math.random and I do that, then this is going to return a number. Don't type this out. I'm just using this as an explanation. It's going to give you a number between 0 to 0.99999. Okay, random number from 0 to 0.99999. We don't want a number from 0 to 0.9999. We want a random number, let's say between 1 and 5. Right? So what can we do? Well, instead of just using math.random, we could put a 5 in there. And now it will give us a random number from 1 to 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to put it right in there. Okay. You could go ahead and create a variable called like wait time, right? And then you can set it equal to that. And then you can put wait time in there, right? But with programming, shorter is always better. So let's go ahead and grab that math.random, put it right into the wait. And so this is going to return a random number from 1 to 5. So when it returns 1, the ball is going to wait 1 second before falling. If it returns 4, it's going to wait 4 seconds before falling, right? And remember, each ball has its own. It's running this function on its own, right? So they're all going to be waiting random number of seconds. Okay. So this is going to give us the behavior that we want. So let's go ahead and do that here as well. So it waits randomly, and then we'll run it and see how this goes. There we go, right? So some of them are rising, some of them are falling, and they're now each have a life of their own, right? That's what we wanted to happen. So great, let's do that. And I guess that was pretty quick, so we can go ahead and talk about the next section now as well. And so I'm going to stop here, and it looks like this piece, okay, that looks good. So sometimes the piece looks like it's off, like right here, you see that? It looks like there's a space there, but then if I get into the right angle, then it's actually just a perspective issue, right? So that's all good. And then of course we want a third spawn point here. And this next section is going to be the transparent fading in red block, right? So then he needs to start running, and he needs to get to the end, to the middle, with enough time where the block hasn't come fully into like with zero transparency, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, what we could do is go ahead and grab this block, duplicate it, and then move it into place like this, and like this, right? And then we're going to scale it, because you don't want him to have to run all the way across. We just want him to have to run halfway across. So I'm going to grab this and put it up just about halfway. And then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to put the other half over here. So again, you want to make it look perfect, but yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna make it look perfect, because this is not my final project, right? I actually have my final project completed on a different place. But anyhow, there we go. We have two parts, one there, one here. This one here needs to be scaled. So we can leave maybe a little bit of space like that. Okay, let's maybe do that and that, or maybe we can do that and that. Okay, and the way that these are going to work is this one is going to fade out and then fade in, and when this one fades in, this one's fading out, and when this one fades in, this one's fading out, right? So that's the behavior that we're eventually going to code. And yeah, I guess we can also go ahead and duplicate this guy and move him into the right location, right over to here. And we want him to be here and here, right? Okay. Right, so that the player can't just go over to the next side, right? We have this little barrier that he cannot touch. So that looks like it's a little bit over. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. This side looks a little bit strange. So maybe I can scale it, make it longer. Okay, this guy looks a little strange, so I can scale him. Oh, it's actually that he's higher up, I think. Okay, no, I need to scale him. Okay, and these are all things that you should be doing on your side as well. Oh, actually, I think what's happening is that the collisions is on and it's overlapping one of the pieces, which I believe is this piece over here, right? So maybe I can scale it this way so it's not overlapping. Then I can move it down. There we go. And then I could scale it like that. Okay, so now we have a perfect fit, I believe. Yes, okay, so we're good to go. This one is also not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and move him so he's down. Okay, I think we have the same issue, except we have it with this piece here. So I'm gonna move this guy out of the way a bit, take this guy, push him down, and then move this one back into place. Alright, so now they all fit like Legos and we are ready to go. So yours should look like this, and if it is, then we can move on to the next video. And if it's not, and you also want to double check to see that there's no space right here in between the floorboard and the piece. And I think there's still space here with this piece, but I'll go ahead and fix it on my own, and we'll go and talk about this in the next video.